Everybody, welcome back to Pandemic Gaga's cooking show. Glad to have you. Feel free to share this post anytime you want to. Today I'm going to show you what to do with leftover roast. I cooked the roast the other night and I had some roast and some drippings, which is the liquid that's left in the pan, left over. So I'm going to show you one thing that you can do with your leftover roast that is quite yummy. Now, first, we've already done this once, but we're going to do it again on past shows. We're going to make gravy. Okay, so I'm going to get some water. Don't forget, I'm going to get some water. I don't know. Maybe there's a cup in there. I don't know. Now, there's more than a cup in there. A cup and a half. We'll go with that number. It doesn't matter. We are going to get some flour. Some, you know how I love to use that word. There's my flour. Get us some flour, some heaping tablespoons. There's one. There's two. We're going to start with 2.5. How's that? Now, where's my little whiskey poo? There it is. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add a little salt. Remember, you can always add more, but you can't take out. We're going to make that a little song. We're going to whisk this around. Get it all stirred up. Yeah, I got enough water in there that y'all can see it in there. Y'all can see that flour. Don't forget to scrape your sides, guys. Don't forget to scrape your sides. Y'all doing okay? I am. Who knows what tomorrow holds, but right now, I'm good. This is the end of April. Let's see, I think it might be the 29th or 30th that I'm recording this of 2020 pandemic year. Still in quarantine. Doing okay. Doing okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we've got that stirred up pretty good. You'll know you got it stirred up pretty good when your lumps go away. Or let's just say at least 90%. 95. You don't want, ooh, to bite in one of those lumps. That would be nasty. Just a hunk of wet flour. Oh my gosh, how gross. All right, we got this. Now, I have my cute little pan that I just love. See? And I'm going to, as I say, spray that sucker. No use scrubbing. Let it rip. Okay. Now I'm just going to put, I got an empty pan. I'm just going to pour this in there. Oh, I spilled some. No problem. No problemo. I can clean that up and I will do that right now. I'm going to hang on to this, what is now a dirty bowl, because if I want to add some water, which I will after a while probably, I'll just use this because it'll just get any leftovers in there out. So I'm just going to set this aside for now. Over here by my sink, I'm going to grab my wash rag. It's cloudy outside today. Now I'm going to clean up my mess right quick because, geez, who wants to cook in a mess? That's nice. That's a mess. Oh, y'all. Did I tell you that we're making open face roast beef sandwiches? Ooh, so here we go. Got that liquidy. We'll go ahead and put it on my little eye, because a little pot. And when I turn it on, you know, start with medium and go from there. So I'm going to turn it on there and let it get warm. Gotta get my dish towel. And while that is getting warm, and you gotta keep an eye on it. In fact, I'm gonna get my larger whisk. Use this one. I do have 4 different whisks, different sizes. And that way, every once in a while, I can just walk over there and keep it from sticking and from lumping. Now I'm going to take my leftover roast. Here's my leftover roast, guys. Scooch this over. I just covered my leftover roast with tin foil. That out of the way. Leftover roast. Roast and drippings. And there's actually a couple carrots left in here. We'll use those another day. I'll show you something else that you can make with your leftover roast. But I'm going to pull some of my roast out of here. It's just kind of in big hunks. So I'm going to pull this hunk out, and I will pull this hunk out. We'll work with that for now. Now then, we'll get you a good sharp knife, and I'm just going to cut into pieces. You know, about that size. Cold roast is good too. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm gonna just cut these into pieces. The roast is so tender that you can pretty well pull it apart. You don't even have to chop or even cut hardly. But you don't want a bunch of little pieces like that. You want them like that size. You're so sweet. Y'all are so sweet to put up with me and my goofiness. I can't help it. If you can't laugh, we'll get some more roast. But if you can't laugh, sometimes at least, what is the point? I just gotta say, a lot of situations, it's either laugh or cry. Go for a laugh if you at all can, and it won't be disrespectful. Sometimes you just gotta go for laughs. Gee whiz. Let me tell you a funny story. I mean, I'm not the only weird one in my family. Oh, the stories I could tell. Let's see, what shall we start with? So, I'll give you this one. That's just a little piece of fat. Don't want that. I'm gonna pop it back in that pan. Wait a minute, y'all. I gotta stir and turn down. I'm gonna turn y'all around so you can watch the whole thing, me and my camera crew. Oh, yeah. See, it's getting stuck. I was paying attention to you guys and not this. It's okay. It's okay. You can just do a lot of stirring. Whisk. Why I use a whisk a lot is because it helps break up those clumps and clumps. And so, there we go on that. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little more water. I'll be right back. Because, yes, this is gravy, but I don't want it I want it thick, but I don't want it as thick as I would gravy some gravies. I'll put it that way. Okay, now I got it turned down. Now let's go back over here, boys and girls. How's that? Is that a good spot? Oh, cameraman, get it right. Okay. Now, look at all this meat I've got going. All these hunks of meat on my little cutting board. Now watch this. What was I gonna get? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a hot pad. We'll set this over here. Now, you're not gonna wanna whisk probably. You can if you got a big enough whisk. But once you put your roast in here that you cut up, it gets stuck in those holes and you'd have to push them out. So, I'm thinking, hey, the sink and use a spoon or something. So here we go. Mmm. Mmm. It looks good. Put it back over here. I'm gonna get a little more meat because I want to be sure we have enough for, you know, me and Mike. So back to the crazy family. What was I gonna tell y'all? Oh, y'all just had to know my mother. That's all I know to tell you. Y'all just had to know my mother. Some of you probably did. She was a very beautiful lady. And she sometimes she wanted to be all prim and proper, have her pinky sticking out. That was probably most of the time. But sometimes the things she would do or say was just hysterical. And especially when you looked back over them, it's like, oh my gosh, Mom. So here's one thing that happened. I don't know how old I was, but my girls were, I'm not going to sit here and figure it out. But the girls were, my girls were in high school. And when they were in high school, oh, I know what year it was. It was the year in January of 2000. And, you know, when you cook, you got to be able to do more than one thing. I want to just add a little bit of the drippings in there. Just a little. Just a little. Maybe a little more. There we go. Just for flavor. Not that it's going to particularly do anything, but just for flavor. Let's get this. But when I'm going to put this beef in there. In 2000, in the year 2000, I was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. My mother had already had it in 95, and hers was really aggressive and really bad. She had a mastectomy and all, but so because of that, I had two. I hope I haven't told you all this before. Anyway, I had two opinions immediately. I mean, I called the doctor, you know, now, and 5 minutes later, I got the phone, I called another doctor because I was going for two opinions, mostly because of Mom having it and having it so severely. And so anyway, I had cancer. And Mom went with me to the man I was visiting with, a surgeon. His name was Dr. David West. He's no longer with us. But anyway, so I went, and of course, he examined me, of course. And so I'm sitting on the exam table, and he was done. But Mom was sitting there on the side, of course. He examined me. I mean, you know, it was in my breast, so there you go. But my poor Mom, she was so petite. And she was so nervous and anxious because this was her daughter. And she was sitting in a chair over here, and she said something to Dr. West. So Dr. West was like, Mom was sitting in the chair, and Dr. West was standing facing her. And she was just, and he was short. And they weren't, 2 feet apart. And Mom, y'all, you didn't know her. She stuck out her bony finger in his face. And you could just see fear all over her face. And she goes, "Are you a Christian?" Because he was going to do surgery on me. And he looked at her. And I'm seeing all this sitting on the table with no top on. And he looked at her and he said, stood up as straight as he could, as tall as he could. And he said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm a Christian. Mom sat there for a second, just staring a hole through him, and she pointed that finger again. She says, well, where do you go to church? And Dr. West goes, ma'am, I go to such and such Church of Christ. And Mom went like this. Mom went, and he stood up straight and tall, looking at Mom, and he says, you're a Baptist, aren't you? Laugh so hard in your life. I mean, he read her like a book, and it was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I was thinking on the after we got home, who goes to the cancer doctor knowing you've got cancer and gonna have surgery, and you go to the surgeon and you're laughing so hard in his office. But y'all, that's, yeah, I'm saying I come from a family of issues. But that was one of the funniest things. And if you will look back on things that have happened in your life, devastating things sometimes, there is some humor in there sometimes. And it helps us. It helps us to, when you get that little break of humor, it helps you to think more clearly. It helps you to see the bigger picture, maybe. Make wiser decisions, I hope. But y'all, turn around here. The question is, why did I share that with you? Oh, yeah, I love you so much. Here is our open face sandwiches. It will beef, and I'm sure other people have names, different names for it. Beef and gravy, basically. And you're going to take a plate out. That's how hard it is. You take a plate out, and you put you a piece of bread on there. And you get you a ladle. And you scoop this stuff up, and you pour it on top of that bread. Oh my goodness. On a cold, rainy day like it is here today, that is good. And always check it because, like I said, these gravies and all, they're going to need some, wait a minute, let me get a spoon. Probably going to need a little more salt. So, yep, needs a little salt. A little more salt, so we just put it in there. Don't put too much. You can always put more, but you can never put less. Y'all, this is so yummy, and this is what you can do with your leftover roast. I love you. I think you are awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm glad you come and visit with me in my kitchen with my fine bunch of camera people. These two hands. My lame stories and laughs. It's just my life. Gee, I just share my life with you. Believe me, I won't steer you wrong. I don't know. Let's go on an adventure with me. There are some who say, don't go on an adventure with her. But they go anyway because it's fun. You never know what to expect. Oh, me, y'all. Y'all just need to feed your families. Have foods that you like to cook when it's cool and damp and raining. Have different foods you like to cook when it's cold and snowy and icky and beautiful snow. Have foods you like to cook when it's summer and hot. You know, I have a winter banana pudding and a summer banana pudding. That's just what we call them. one I won't make in the summer and one I won't make in the winter. I'll show you those along the way. I love you. Y'all keep on keeping on. Keep your heads up. Know that Jesus loves you. And know that I love you. And I love sharing with you. Now I'm going to let this cook a little longer. I've got it on, I just turned it up to a notch below medium. And when it starts simmering pretty good, I'll probably turn it down to a notch or so above low. And I'm going to let it get to the thickness that we prefer it. And Lord, look at my hair. I got a hump, y'all. Wonder if this will get that lump out. I don't think so. Oh, y'all, life is too funny. Too fun. Very serious and dangerous sometimes. It's just life. It's just life. When you can laugh, laugh good. I love you. Y'all have a good day. And we will do this again in a day or two, okay? Love you. Bye. What was that? I hope you can live in my mind. I gotta go, y'all. I'm getting bad. I gotta take care of this lump in my hair. Love you.